Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager series. This is episode number 14, and today we are returning with perhaps the penultimate episode of the season, perhaps not, as we take on Newcastle away and Leeds at home. Before we play this game, though, how Mill having getting on off camera. So of course, in the last episode, you saw our 4-0 victory at home to Queen's Park Rangers and then our 4-1 defeat away at Hillsborough against Sheffield Wednesday. I then played 5 games off camera, and what an impressive run for Millwall. And just like last season, well, I'll discuss it in a minute, but it's pretty much identical to what's happened last season. We won 4 and lost 1, and we won all 4 to begin with. We started with 2-0 victory at home to Ipswich, Jed Wallace scoring our first goal, and then Steve Morrison getting our second, our top scorer, Morrison, this year. And I want him to stay, but I'll discuss Morrison briefly in a moment and talk about his contract coming the end of the year. Then a 2-1 victory away at Bristol City against a side who right now are struggling to stay up in the division. Tunnicliffe scored 2 minutes in. He's just been offered a new contract today, by the way, so he should hopefully sign in today's episode. And Morrison scored a late winner as well with 12 minutes to go to give us the big 3 points. And then a fantastic 1-0 victory over Swansea, who lead the league right now. Sean Williams converting a penalty and giving us the 3 points. And then a 2-1 victory away at Ewood Park against Blackburn Rovers as well. Gregors and Onyedinma with our 2 goals in this game, as Charlie Mulgrew did score a consolation for Blackburn deep into stoppage time, but thankfully the screamer, as it was nothing other than a consolation goal. But our final game did see the end to the 4-game win streak as we lost to Hull at home by a 0-0, where Jake Cooper lost the header in the air, and he's 6'7", so whenever Cooper loses an aerial duel, I'm like, come on, bro. God gave you that height to head the balls away. What are you doing? But Hull got the win, and that was a real shame because, again, that would have been 5 wins in a row. I don't think we've ever had that in the series so far, but unfortunately it wasn't to be, as we did taste defeat. So, today's games are away at St James's Park against Newcastle, chasing automatic promotion, and at home to Leeds, which is on TV as well. Got to love that. We do not get much for it. And this side of the table is currently looking right now. Although actually, just real briefly, I want to explain, like, the reason I was laughing at the start is because this is like identical to last season. If you remember last season, we started off, we struggled, it was really inconsistent, and then midway through the season, we picked up a good run of form, and the exact same things happened again, and that's why right now, as you can see, we're up to 13th place in the table. We know we're not going down. Just like last season, we're far off the bottom 3. We're currently, is it 19 points off Cardiff in 20 seconds? Yeah, we're fine. We're not going down with 8 games to go. But we're 6 points off the playoffs as well. So this is it, like, literally identical to last season. Like, either we're going to sneak in right at the death, or we're going to have a collapse in what has been a decent little run of form, and we'll end up finishing in mid-table. I bet it's going to be the latter again, but either way, it's crazy how this is so similar to last season. And again, with 8 games to go, it's still possible, but we've got some really, really tough fixtures to come, including Newcastle away today, and we'll see what we can do. Now, briefly, there are a couple of things to show you. One thing is that, like I said a moment ago, Tunnicliffe's just been offered a new contract, so hopefully he'll extend it in today's episode. So we give him a 4-year deal, and I'll hope to see him put pen to paper. And also, we've had our youth intake, and we have got, for the first time in a very long time, a standout player that could well be very good. There's a couple of good players. One is Matt Higgins, a young little defensive midfielder that could be okay, and we got a job lot of ball-winning midfielders, but this guy could be alright in the future. He's got 4-star forward potential, so we'll see what he can do. But this guy may well be the Sam Redmond of this save. It's been a very long time since I've had a player come out of the youth intake that actually looks pretty decent, and this is the guy, Clinton Webster, 15 years old. He is a Jamaican right winger, although he is eligible to represent England in this save. And he looks very good indeed. He's not the quickest to begin with, but hopefully that will improve. Technically, he's not great to begin with either, but the report suggests he could be very, very, very good in the future, and good enough to become, perhaps, I don't want to jinx it, but a Premier League player. And this is what this series was lacking. You know, we love the youth players in my FM saves. We haven't had a really good one yet, but this one comes out of the academy. I love the high work rate, 16, and already he's wanted to be poached away by Huddersfield Town. Hands off David Wagner, all right? He's staying with us. He's signed a provisional provisional professional contract, sorry. But I think this still means that he can be poached away. A club can just offer a contract straight away because he's under the age of 17. I think that's right, but I can't remember. So there's a chance that Webster may not even stay. He might get stolen by Huddersfield Town at this rate, but we've given him a provisional contract, and hopefully, as he signed it, he'll decide to stay here at the Den. But I'm excited. I'm excited. He looks pretty decent. Maybe I'm beating him up a little bit because he's not amazing. But I'm excited at least. The report suggests he could be very good in the future, and that's what I'm really excited about. And I love that high work rate as well. Also for Morrison, real briefly, did mention a moment ago, he may well be leaving the club come the end of the season. Steve, our captain, obviously left us after joining from Stevenage many years ago to Norwich, then came back after a very brief spell at Leeds. And he's our captain. He's our top scorer this season, but as you can see, 35 years old, turns... Oh, okay, I'll do that later. I was going to say, the last time I offered him a contract, he said, I'm not sure how much game time I'll get, so I'm not sure I want to commit or something like that. And now he actually wants to stay. Good, Steve. That's really cheered me up because I was worried we were going to lose you. Okay, so that's good. Good positive to go into today's episode. And yeah, let's dive into it. So first game today is indeed away at St James's Park as we take on Newcastle United. There have been a couple of injuries to report right now. Toffolo is currently out. Jed Wallace is also out as well. And Freddie Woodman is ineligible to play against his parent club. And I know a lot of you guys have been saying you've got to change the tactics. 4-4-2 is just not working and the instructions aren't right now. But I think since where we are in the table is pretty impressive by my standards, I want to stick with it. And as we play the 4-4-2 in real life, I don't want to change the formation either. So we will change tactics eventually, but for the time being, we're doing okay. So this is our lineup for the game then. Archer's in goal, back for a Meredith, back from the Agents Cup, Hutchinson, Cooper and Marlon Romeo. In midfield, O'Brien on left, Onyedinma on the right, and in the middle, George Saville and Sean Williams. And up top together, Gregors and that top scorer who may well be staying for another year or two, Steve Morrison. And on the bench, young Curtis Anderson, who's progressing quite nicely right now in our youth team. Carter Vickers, Conor McLaughlin, Ben Thompson, Shane Ferguson, the Jagger, and Tom Elliott as well. So first game is the Magpies. I expect this to be back-to-back defeat against the team in second place, but let's see how we get on. Come on, you Lions. Also worth noting, they have the third highest scorer in division in Mitrovic, who was tearing things up for Fulham last season at Craven Cottage on loan, and this season is playing very well too. So it'll be hard to keep him quiet, and hopefully we will, but again, I'm not expecting much from this game. After that loss to Hull, I'm feeling a little bit sorry for myself after our winning run got lost, and I do feel as though Newcastle, a much stronger team, should get the 3 points here at St James's Park. First chance falls early, but we've headed it clear. But straight to the number 19, now John Joe Shelvey on the ball, plays it into that Serbian Mitrovic, and he'll find Oliver Burke. Burke's pass cut out, Dominic O'Orf crosses, Romeo heads clear, Isaac Hayden picks it up, and still the highlight continues down this left-hand side with a cross to the middle, or a little ball inside I should say, and there is that danger man who we just discussed, Alexander Mitrovic. Scored against me last season with Fulham, and he scored again here just 1 minute into the game. We knew keeping him quiet was going to be tough, and it clearly is, and this is why I've been downplaying any chance of us making the playoffs, because like last season, you know, we've had this little mini run where we've done well, but if you remember last season as well, we sort of lost it towards the end, and we only won one of our last like 5 or 6 games, and I can see the exact same thing happen again. We get ourselves way away from the drop zone, we give ourselves a possible chance of the playoffs, but we just can't extend the run further, and that's why we end up setting for mid-table. So 1-0 down already, and yeah, mid-table is where we're going to finish. We're not good enough for the playoffs yet. And another highlight coming for Newcastle United. Mitrovic on the ball. Tackled by Jake Cooper. Well done. But Isaac Hayden picks it up and now finds Johnson down the left-hand side. And Fabian Johnson keeps on going. Crosses to the middle. Romeo heads clear, but straight to Hayden. Danger not fully away. Cross into Iorfa. And that is a penalty as James Meredith shoves the former Wolves defender down. So chance for Newcastle to go 2 goals up. John Joe Shelvey is standing up to take it against Jordan Archer. And Archer makes the save. Well done, Jordan, keeping us in the game. 4 minutes to go. Chance here for the Lions. And our first of the game, Williams finds George Saville. And Saville will play it out to Onyedinma. Onyedinma inside to Gregory, heads it down. Morrison, oh, give that man a new contract. Steve Morrison with his 15th goal of the season puts us back on level terms. And you best believe that come the end of today's episode, the first thing I'll do off camera is tie this guy down to an extra year or two. I don't care how old he is, he always scores goals. Steve Morrison doing it again. Onyedinma lifts one in. Gregors did well to head it down. And that is a clinical, cool, composed finish from the veteran striker. Into the bottom corner, 1-1, and Jordan Archer's penalty save in the end has turned out to be a really good motivator as we're back on level terms. So first highlight of the second half comes to the Lions, and we've won ourselves a penalty. Iorfa pushes down Morrison, and there's a chance for us to come from behind to lead here at St James's Park. Well, Sean, tuck it away, son. You missed at Selhurst Park, don't miss here. Yes, gets in, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. And as we take the lead 2 minutes after the restart, well, who saw this coming? As things stand, Millwall jumping up into the top 10, into 9th place. That is a brilliant penalty from Williams. He knows now he cannot be fazed by the pressure from 12 yards. And as we lead by a goal, plenty of the game to go. Not counting our chickens just yet, but if we can hold on to this 3 points, this will be massive. Come on. Hold on. 9 minutes to go. Highlight for Newcastle. Mitrovic to Yannick the Giant Vestergaard, who lifts one over the bar. Oh man, I'm really tense right now. Can we hang on to these big 3 points? We're approaching stoppage time. I'll make my final change here. Elliott for Gregors for a little bit more physical presence up top. Oh, this is going to be an absolutely huge result if we can cling on to these 3 points. But I'm nervous. Come on, you Lions. Highlight for Newcastle, 1 minute of normal time to go, and the shot comes in and Jordan makes a very simple save. Oh man, this will put us into the top 10 and 4 points behind the Borough in 6th place, and we'll still have a chance. But here come the Magpies looking for that late equalising goal to break our hearts. Mitrovic, tackle, Aarons, oh it's 2-2. Rolando Aarons latches onto a tackle through ball, and the young man makes it 2-2. And I mean, based on the stats, we wouldn't have deserved these 3 points. But we were so close to hanging on to a massive win. The Giant Vestergaard flicks on. What a lovely flick by Aarons there. Mitrovic inside, and Meredith made a brilliant tackle, but sadly it turned out to be a through ball. And Rolando Aarons gives Newcastle a big point in their race for the title. And with 5 minutes of added time, we'll take the point. I would have taken the point pre-game, but is there a highlight there? No. Oh, there is. Oh, please don't throw this away. But there is a chance for Millwall. No, it's a throw. Can we just get to the end of the game? I'll take the point, please. I can't tell whether this is a highlight or one of those closing out the game highlights. I think it's the latter. And, well, we're going to take the point. Archer goes long to Elliott. Morrison, on the ball, tackled. The Jagger picks it up. And, the referee blows a full time as we're on the attack down the right. But you know what? I'm going to take that point. I would have been happy with a point pre-game, and I'm happy with a point post-game as well. So I will say, well done, lads. You proved a lot of people wrong just by avoiding defeat. We'll give Morrison some individual praise for bagging his goal and playing very well. And yeah, I'm going to take that. That does still give us a chance of the playoffs. A win would have been absolutely huge. But as you can see, we're now to 12th place. We're 6 points off Middlesbrough. There's still a chance. But holding on to those 3 points there would have been massive. And just for the Leeds game, there is a bit of good news here. Ryan Tunnicliffe has indeed put pen to paper on a new 4-year deal, which will take him up until he's 30 years old. Some of you guys do point this out, that I often put in this clause in the majority of my contracts, relegation release clause, £0. The reason I do that is quite simple. If we ever get relegated in the save, then the series is over, so it doesn't really matter. So that's why I always include it. It just sweetens the deal a little bit. And again, if we get relegated, the series is over, so it's not really something which is worth even discussing too much. But he's got an extra £3,000 a week, and I like Tunnicliffe a lot, and you know why I like Tunnicliffe a lot, because his mental stats are absolutely fantastic, and it's great to tie him down, and Tunnicliffe will be staying. And on the back of that, why don't we offer a contract to Morrison right now on camera and try and get this guy tied down. So he's on £4,000 a week right now. These are his clauses and bonuses. Okay, what does he want? Oh, okay, he wants a wage decrease. Oh, Steve, we love you so much. Okay, so let's go ahead and take off the unused substitute fee, because I absolutely hate that. We'll give him a goal bonus of £1,000 if he ever gets that. We shall exclude the wage rises because I can't stand that clause, and we will go with Dax. He'll get an extra year if he plays 10 games, and we'll also remove the non-playing job offer. And okay, well that's not really worked out the way I was hoping, but it's okay. I don't mind if he goes on to the same salary he's on right now. Okay, he wants a wage increase now. Well, I've totally choked, haven't I? In offering a contract to one of my players, I've totally choked. Come on, Steve, just stick with what you got. Okay, fine, get your wage increase, fine. You deserve it, Steve, you deserve it. So an extra year, perhaps 2. And if he's an extra £400 a week, fine. He's our top scorer. He deserves an extra £400 a week minimum. You know, JC, this is why you've got no money at the Den. This is why the finances are plummeting, because you keep on giving wage increases to every single one of your players. You got no discipline. You got no backbone whatsoever. You got to tell them no. Stick with what you got or take a wage decrease. But instead, no, you keep on giving them the cash. We ain't got the cash to give, though. So, second game today is going to be Leeds United. As you can see, Morrison has just penned that new deal. So we're delighted to keep Steve for another year or 2. And yeah, let's dive in then to the second and final game today. We are the late kickoff, so as we can see, Sheffield Wednesday beat Hull, big result there, and Preston beat Aston Villa as well. Middlesbrough dropped points at London Road too. Oh, there's some good results happening for us in our favour, though Norwich did win. And yeah, okay, so that means that the table now, just real briefly, looks like this. We do have the game in hand, win it, and we'll jump up to, where will we jump up to? Oh, if we win this game, we'll jump up to 10th place. Let's go get it done. Come on, you Lions. So, this will be our team for the game then, same 4-4-2, but 1 or 2 changes to our lineup shall we make after that draw? I wouldn't mind putting Ferguson back in for O'Brien, our best player this season and last season too. Okay, let's go with this then. So, Archers in goal, back for Meredith, Hutchinson, Cooper and Romeo, and in midfield, Ferguson on the left, Onyedinma on the right, and in the middle, Saville and Williams, and up top together, Gregors and Morrison, and on the bench, Woodman, Carter, Vickers, McLaughlin, Thompson, O'Brien, Elliott, and also, you might notice, Clinton Webster, the young 15-year-old. I'm tempted to start him in this game for Fred. But I think we'll go with Fred to begin with, and then possibly bring him off the bench. I want to use Webster today, since this is your first look at him. Anyway, for second game, it's Leeds. Let's get the win. Let's go 10th. Come on, Millwall. So first highlight does come to Leeds United. They'll be desperate to end their playoff hopes here, and as Forshaw makes it 1-0, they may well do so. They've started off the brighter team, and just like St James's Park, we've conceded an early goal as Leeds try and drag us away from the top 6 and get the 3 points here. That was such a simple goal to concede as well. Look at this. I mean, he just loses his man on the edge of the area and pops it into the top corner. I mean, that was just such an easy goal there to concede. And as we trail by 1, worst possible start, bring on Clinton Webster. First highlight for Millwall though, Ferguson dinks a corner out towards Fred, and Onyedinma plays it in. Williams is there. Oh yeah, Sean Williams, 2 in 2, and we are back on level terms here, 22 minutes in. Williams has played really well in this second half of the season, and that was a lovely ball by Fred as well. Not sure that was an official set-piece routine, but it worked out nicely. Great little dink to the far post there by Onyedinma, and Williams, totally unmarked, heads it into the back of the net. Millwall 1, Leeds 1. Now let's turn this game on its head like it's in James's Park. And another highlight, 28 minutes in. It should come to the lines with Saville playing along to Gregors. Oh, go on, Lee. Go on, Lee. Go on, Lee. Can you finish, son? No, good save by Wiedwoud and cleared away. Good little mini spell of pressure here. So I'm going to quickly encourage the boys if I can. There we go. And let's see if we can get ourselves in front before the break. So second half's underway. We're still tied at 1-1, 10 minutes after the restart. I do see someone winning this game, but I'm quite nervous. It may well be our visitors today. But if we can get these 3 points and cut the gap on the top 6, that will be huge. And as Ferguson releases Lee, a chance here for our second goal. Gregory crosses, Morrison is in there, and that's why he's got that contract extension. Steve Morrison doing it once again, scoring against his former team. He scored a hat-trick at Ellen Road earlier on this season, and Morrison has helped to turn the game on its head and make it 2-1. Great ball out wide there towards Gregory, cross to the middle, and these two, such a fantastic duo as Steve heads it home. I don't care how old this guy is, 35 or 53, he'll always score goals in a Millwall shirt. And as we now lead by 1, half an hour to go, let's not throw away these 3 points like against Newcastle. Let's hold on to them and cut the gap on the top 6. So we are entering the final few minutes. We're still leading by a goal. I want to bring on young Clinton Webster for a bit of pace down at the right-hand side, see if he can do anything in this final 4 minutes. So Webster's going to become the youngest ever Millwall player at just 15 years old. And imagine if Leeds go and grab an equaliser in stoppage time and it comes from the left side. But as we're still leading by 1, we're almost there, and this is going to be a massive, massive victory if we survive the final attack. It's Dallas on the ball through to Kemar Roof, out wide to the Silva. And now Forshaw into Saiz, slides it in, it'll come to Phillips, and Webster, the young teenager, is there. Archer clears it, Elliott goes after it. Come on, just referee, where is that final whistle? Blow it early, everyone wants to go home. Webster surrenders possession, brilliant. Cooper goes up, but that'll do it, it's all over. And there it is, Millwall have got a big, big 3 points in. To take 4 points from 6 away at Newcastle and home to Leeds, that's very good. So I'm going to calmly say to the boys, a good win, boys, well done. Everyone is happy, delighted to come from behind to win. And as you can take a look at the table as Webster makes his professional debut, that's really great. We shall take a look at the table, and as you can see, we are now into the top 10, and with 6 games to go, oh, there's just 5 points. Also, there's just 5 points behind between us and West Brom. It's still quite unlikely. There are some very tough games to come, including Brentford at home, Norwich away, and Middlesbrough at home as well. But we could still do this. We could still do this, and we've still given ourselves a chance after 2 solid results today. But that will end today's episode of the Football Manager series, guys. So a big thank you for watching and hope you have enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy today's episode, then please do drop a like, as likes are of course very much appreciated, and read out channel out as well. We shall return with the final episode of the season, perhaps if we don't make the playoffs. And I think what I might do is a triple header. Brentford at home, Norwich away, and Middlesbrough at home. 3 very tough games there, and we'll see if we still have a chance at the playoffs going into the game at Griffin Park. I answered then actually. If we're out of the playoff race, then I'll just play the final 2 games. If not, we'll have Brentford, Norwich, and Middlesbrough in our first triple header of the series. So thanks for watching, guys. Much love. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you for the next episode of my Football Manager series. Perhaps the final episode of the season, but hopefully not very soon. Bye.